Shona and I'm learning how to sew. So this video is two things. It is my July makes and it's also a giveaway to celebrate my 165 new subscribers. So if you want to see how I made this top and a dress and a whole outfit and another one of these tops, stay tuned. All right, so first I want to start with the most important thing to me, the funnest part, is the giveaway. So I have this book, The Mood Guide to Fabric and Fashion. Look at this, Mood Fabrics, as you know, from Project Runway, and this is a great addition to, I think, any sewist library. Like myself, I'm still learning about fabrics because, you know, like Nicole Elise Design says, fabric choice is everything. And, you know, you can play with it. You can also mess up an outfit or make choosing the wrong fabric. So this book I love because it really talks about, it goes into first the history of mood fabrics, the actual family, and then it talks about the various fabrics and how they travel to get them. And it's just really interesting. I really would love to take a course in draping there maybe. So if you've been to Mood Fabrics and you'd be interested in winning this book, I'm going to tell you how to get that. First of all, you need to follow me on Instagram at Black Irish Label, and you need to like the post that I just posted showing this book, and then you need to tag a friend, and that's it. And I'm going to announce the winner on Friday, August 14th. And I'm going to do that on my IG Live. So if you're not following me on Instagram and you're interested, and I'm so excited for those who have subscribed to my channel because it's just, it gives me motivation and it makes me excited and it keeps me going. But on the Instagram, my Instagram, you can see more of the process. Like I have been posting as I'm sewing, I'm posting like my next makes, or, you know, my last video was more about what I was going to make this summer, and I've taken a couple of detours with that. So if you want to get more of an up-to-date, instead of a YouTube video maybe once a month, I'll do my makes once a month, I decided. Follow me on Instagram. So that's the giveaway. And now I want to talk about the first dress that I made, the BrandiMcCalls. All right, sorry, it's BrandiMcCalls. This pattern, as you know, McCalls has taken their patterns, and instead of using, or in addition to using the numbers, it's M8174. They also have hashtag names, right, of the dresses or the makes, which I think is cute. So it's hashtag BrandiMcCalls. And this dress, it was, first of all, I love knit fabric. This is a knit fabric. I just love knit fabrics because they're not as stiff as cotton. You can roll them up and travel with them easily. You don't have to worry about ironing. It's an easy wash. Some people do not like sewing with knits, and I'm not one of those people. I really enjoy sewing with knits. I love the drape of them. They're easier to find where I shop for fabric at my local fabric store. But I want to just talk about this make and the challenges and you know, the good, the bad, and the ugly, if you will. So the good was that I love the length of this dress. I love that it had long sleeves. The new techniques for me was to put, this is the first time I put elastic in a dress in a long sleeve. And I do eventually want to learn how to make every sleeve, right? Everybody does, right? So this, I'm not sure what you call the sleeve. I'm not sure if it's a bell sleeve, but it had a nice proof to it. But because it's knit fabric, it didn't really stay proofed, right? It's not, it doesn't have structure. So it just had nice volume, but not as much as it would maybe if it was something a little stiffer. But I loved this fabric. This fabric gives you like Miami vibes. So whenever I'm here in Boston, it was rainy, like I want to wear it to the grocery store. I want to, you know, brighten my mood. I love the fabric. It had like this really bright 3D blue and flowers, and it had a really vibrant orange and red in it. So I just love the fabric. Another skill that I learned was the gathering on the side, right? So there's gathering right there on the left side, I believe it is. So, and that wasn't really hard to do. I learned a technique using dental floss. You put dental floss in the sewing machine, and that was an easy way to get the fabric fitted. Using my dress form was really fun to use because it's fit to my measurements. So I was able to fit as I sewed. Um, Let me tell you something about this. So trico, I don't know how to pronounce it. Trico. It's not pronounced trico like the way you would think it is. It's something different. So you put that in the lining of the bodice, and all it is like a mesh. It's a mesh fabric. I used a flesh color because you won't see it, but I loved what it did for the bodice. It makes it cling, and it makes it tight, and it makes it, it's almost like spandex, ladies. It's almost like shapewear underneath, and it makes me want to use it in all of my bodices that have knit fabric. So if you haven't used that trico fabric, look into it because it's really, really nice. I really liked it, and that was a new skill that I learned. Something that I wish that I could understand, or maybe patterns after a certain size wouldn't do, is my measurements are 38 for my bust. So for that pattern, I had to use the 20, the size 20. And you know, if you sew, you don't, I'm a size 10 in real life, but with sewing, I'm a size 20, 18, it just depends, especially because my hips are 44 inches. But for some reason, especially with this pattern, when you go past, I think 16, they split the bodice down the middle, so it's two pieces. And I didn't like that. And you can't see it in the dress, thank God, because of the pattern. But I wish that's something, maybe I can just make it one piece instead of cutting it into two, but there's a seam right down the middle. So I didn't love that part about it, and hopefully that's something I can figure out. But I really enjoyed this dress. It's BrandiMcCalls. You should try it before the summer ends. I think you can wear this well into September, late September here in Boston with the weather. Anything else? Oh, I put the sewing label on the front because it's so hard for me to distinguish when I'm sewing which is the front and which is the back. So maybe someone can comment below and just like, what do you do? I thought maybe the not the darts, the what do you call those? I can't remember the names right now. The little points that you cut out. I thought it was like maybe two are on the front, one is on the back. I don't know. And I'm also having an issue using chalk. The chalk to mark up my fabric does not work. It just kind of like, it just disintegrates. And then I was using a permanent marker, so I started to use Tailor tacks using thread, and that helped sewing these 4 pieces this summer. So BrandiMcCalls was really fun to make, and I hope you'll try it too. All right, let's move to the next piece. So this is going to be McCalls 7577 or hashtag CharlotteMcCalls. Now I have seen this in all of my Facebook sewing groups. I've seen it on Instagram and Pinterest, and it just seems like the perfect outfit for the summer. So my daughter is turning 22, and I wanted to make this for her, right, before I made it for myself. And that's a little bit daunting in of itself because sewing for yourself is one thing, sewing for others is another. And she's really top heavy, and that's one of the reasons, if I've said this in my other videos, that I even tried to learn how to sew, is to make garments to fit my daughter's bust. Okay, so stay with me. I just want to talk about the fabric in this outfit. So a friend of mine is now selling fabric. So Nicole Elise Design, and she's doing textile. She's selling fabric. So I had to support my soul sister, and she had this beautiful sort of berry gauze, and I got a few yards of it, and it is really, really nice. I even got some more from her in like a teal color, so I can make this outfit later. But this was my first time sewing with gauze, and I love gauze. Like, I love gauze. It sews like a knit because it's so stretchy. It has a four-way stretch, I believe. And I really would suggest using the walking foot. And if you haven't used the walking foot has the dogs that feed the fabric so it doesn't get caught. And I would just practice a little bit the length of my zigzag stitch, the width of my zigzag stitch on the gauze fabric until I got it perfect. But the walking foot, it makes the stitch lay so perfectly flat. So once that was all squared away, I got to sewing. A couple of questions I have for you out there, if you have the answers, is when you're sewing gauze and knits, do you press? Do you iron as you go? That was just sort of a question I had because the gauze is so soft. It was almost like, I don't know if I needed to press it. I did. And then another question I was having was, do you serge your knit fabrics, right? So it seemed like, if you can see on this shirt here, it seems like when I serge the gauze and the knit fabric on her outfit, you can see it sort of, it folds up. So maybe you don't serge gauze. So that's a question I have you guys out there. Just let me know in the comments. And I also wanted to talk about the importance of using a new needle. So a ballpoint needle I use for this project, and I think it is true. You should use a new needle for every project, just so it's nice and crisp and clean. Some other notes I have was, do you remove your basting stitches? So the thread I used, I believe, was white. And then, you use the machine to baste to secure an area, but then I will go back. I don't know, like, do you go back and remove your basting stitches? And another thing about this pattern, and actually another pattern, I'm having trouble with pockets. They're not very clear to me. So that I had to go back and, fix the pockets and do that correctly. So are pockets hard for you to sew? It seems to be a little bit difficult to me. I'm sure with practice it will get better, but that was a challenge in this particular pattern. And I also in this pattern have a note of how do you distinguish again the front from the back. Just like I talked about with BrandiMcCalls, as I'm sewing, it just gets turned around for me. If you guys have some notes on how to keep your front and back clear while you're sewing, I would really appreciate that. But my daughter loved this outfit. I was scared I would have to do some alterations in the pants, which is something I am dreading right now because I don't have that skill yet. So I was just hoping they would fit, and they did. I didn't have to make any alterations to her pants, I don't believe. I think I just maybe had to shorten and tighten the elastic, and that was pretty much easy to do. But pants are making me a little bit nervous, but I think this one came out okay. And lastly is McCalls 7955. They don't have a hashtag for this one. This was before they started making a hashtag, so it's just going to be M7955. This shirt but for my friend, my soul sister, so you, I was having trouble with the casing. And I was going to use these shoelaces, like colored shoelaces, to put down the side, so like some padding or places or something cute. But I was having trouble with the casing. So you, so I followed Instagram. She said it's so elastic in it. So it can, so that's what I did. So I So before I leave you, I just want to share what I'm working on right now. So I am working on Simplicity 1887. Faith Jules, she's one of my soul sisters that I follow on Instagram. 1887, she had made some pants out of this. And look at this. You get one pair of shorts, 2 skirts, and 3 pants in this one pattern, okay? And it is not difficult. I'm just stuck on the casing for the elastic, okay? And this is what it is right here. But I saw Brittany J. Jones has a video, sew along, so I know I'll get through it and that won't be a problem. But this fabric, if it looks familiar, in one of my thumbnails, I made some pants out of these. So I had a yard and a half left over, and I've been trying not to use fabric, or sorry, buy fabric. I've been trying to use what I have. So I said, let me make these short. So what I have learned in this particular pattern, which I love, look at the pleats. Those pleats look so good, right? And then this pocket. And I'm trying to pattern match, and it's a little difficult, but I'm trying my best. You can tell in the back. But I'm gonna wear them. On the side, it's not so bad. I lined up the side. Well, sorry, maybe this side. Yeah, I thought that line looked pretty good. But anyway, so maybe pattern matching. I got a little ahead of myself, but I wanted to use this fabric. So I'm working on these shorts right now. My sister just had her 3rd baby. I'm an auntie for the 3rd time. And you know, her body, she just had her baby. So she's going to, and another soul sister just had a baby. So what I'd like to do for them is, I saw this. I'd like to make this comfortable, easy dress for them. Maybe out of some crepe, which I haven't used yet. I'm scared to use crepe, it's very slippery, but this is something I want to make for my sisters who just had babies. You know how it is when your body is snapping back, if you will. And I don't know, I have some things in the works, and I'll hope to see you soon in my August Makes video. I will have a video coming up soon where I am going to share my